I want to talk about something today that makes a lot of people feel frustrated, ashamed, and like a failure. Affirmations. Because while they are wonderful tools for self-improvement, they often don't work. And not only do they not work, they can make things worse. Because when you say an affirmation such as, "I am enough," and your nervous system immediately responds with, "No, you're not," you don't just fail to feel better. You feel worse. You have a little more evidence that something is fundamentally broken inside you, that even the basic self-help tools don't work for you. And if that has been your experience, I want to start by saying something clearly. There is nothing wrong with you. And there is nothing wrong with the affirmations either. Something else is going on entirely. I am Dr. Berni Sewell, health scientist and energy healer. And in today's video, I'm going to show you exactly why affirmations fail for so many people at a scientific and psychological level, and what actually works instead. Not as a replacement for affirmations, but as the thing that needs to happen first. You have probably tried affirmations for quite a while. Maybe someone you trust recommended them, or you read about them, or you came across the science behind neuroplasticity and thought, "This makes sense. This seems easy enough. This could work." So you try. You write them out, repeat them in front of a mirror. You say them with as much belief as you can master. And in those first few days, there is something, a little small lift, a moment of thinking, maybe. But then a week in, 2 weeks in, that inner voice starts to interfere. Who are you kidding? This isn't true and you know it. You have been telling yourself this for 15 days and you still feel exactly the same. The affirmation just doesn't ring true. Your body and mind somehow seem to reject it. And while you can say it in your mind, you still can't feel it in your heart. And the longer you persist, the more the gap between what you are saying and what you actually feel becomes its own source of pain. Because it's not a small gap, it's a canyon. And you are not alone in this. And the reason it happens is not that you lack discipline or faith or the right mindset. It is something much more specific than that. Here is what affirmations are actually doing at the level of the brain. Affirmations work at the level of conscious thought. They are deliberate, intentional input. Something you choose to say to the thinking mind, with the hope that the thinking mind will update its beliefs accordingly. Because the mind learns by repetition. And for some people with some kind of beliefs, that actually works beautifully. For beliefs that are recent, that live primarily in the conscious mind, that haven't yet settled deep, affirmations can and do shift things. But what about long-held, deep-seated beliefs, like the belief that you are not enough? Because that belief, for most people who carry it, didn't form recently, it formed early in early childhood. It was reinforced repeatedly through experiences, through what people said and did not say, through environments that taught you something specific about your value. And over time, that belief stopped living in the conscious mind. It settled into the body, into the nervous system, into the stored emotional responses that fire before you have even had a conscious thought. You see, when a belief lives at that level, at the level of the body, the nervous system, the deep unconscious, when you try to override it with a conscious thought, it argues back. And psychologists call this psychological reactance, which can be applied to the mind's tendency to push back against statements that feel false at a deeper level. When you say, "I am enough," to a nervous system that has spent years running on the belief that you are not, it does not just update, it resists. And that resistance is what you feel as the inner voice that says, "No, you're not." That doesn't mean you were doing affirmations wrong. It just means that you were doing them at the wrong level. You see, the belief that you are not enough, like all deep beliefs about our worth, does not live in one place. It's settled in 5 levels simultaneously. In your thinking, the automated stories and self-talk that run throughout the day. In your beliefs, the deeper, often unconscious convictions about whether you are truly lovable, truly capable, truly safe. In your body and emotions, the stored feelings of shame and fear and inadequacy that live below conscious thought and respond before the thinking mind has a chance to intervene. And in the imprint of past experiences, the specific moments that taught you something untrue about your value, that are still running in the background. And in your energy, which is the level that most conventional approaches, including most self-help, never reach at all. Affirmations reach level 1, the thinking level. And that is genuinely useful. I use affirmations myself all the time. And I'm not here to dismiss them at all. Because consciously directing the mind toward a different story is a real and worthwhile thing to do. But if the belief is held at all 5 levels, and the belief that you are not enough certainly is, then working at level 1 alone leaves 4 levels untouched. And those 4 levels will continue to run the old program, even while the conscious mind is trying to run the new one. And that is not personal failure, that's simply physics. You cannot change a 5-level problem with a 1-level tool. So what does it look like to actually work at all 5 levels? It means working on the thinking, and yes, including affirmations, but framed as redirection rather than override. It means working on the deep beliefs, not by arguing with them, but by finding the specific, often childhood-formed convictions and addressing them at the level where they live. It means working in the body, releasing the stored emotions that a thinking level approach simply cannot reach. And it means working with the imprint of past experiences, not just understanding them, but clearing the energetic and emotional charge that they carry. And it means working at the energy level, which is where my training as an Eden Energy Medicine practitioner adds something that most conventional approaches genuinely cannot. When all 5 levels are addressed together, not sequentially but simultaneously, the affirmation stops fighting the countercurrent, because the countercurrent has been addressed, and the mind can finally begin to believe what it is saying. So if you have been using affirmations and wondering what you are doing wrong, I hope this video has answered that question. You are not doing anything wrong. You are using a real tool for a part of the problem. You just needed the other 4 parts to be addressed too. And this channel exists to help you understand and address all 5 levels, not just the thinking one. And if you are new here, please subscribe, because there is a lot more coming. And if you are ready to go deeper into how it actually works in practice, I have put a link in the description to my free webinar, the 5-step framework to break free from low self-worth. It is the clearest map I know of what working at all 5 levels actually looks like. Thank you so much for being here, and I will see you in the next one.